What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Teachers Lounge. Thank y'all for tuning in. My name is Zoe Johnson. I'm a comedian, actor, and I also run after-school programs. Let's go.
What is up, guys? My name is Matt Jones. I am a comedian, an actor, and unfortunately, a teacher.
My name's Chris Studham, and I feel what Matt just said to my core. But I'm a 7th grade math teacher, and I also do stand-up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, this show is starting off well. I love that.
Yeah, you know what? It's just a strong opinion, you know?
Yep.
It's just having it's having a strong opinion about education, of which all three of us have a strong opinion. How's you guys' week going?
Man, my week was tough, man. Week was tough just getting kids together to focus, learn their lines, and stop messing around, playing with each other, touching each other's hair and all that type of stuff like that, putting kids in other headlocks. It's hard just to really produce something like a musical when kids are not focused. So it's been a journey getting kids focused and letting them understand that we have a big mission towards the end. In July is the performance that we're doing for the after school program is June 6th.
June 6th.
Yeah.
It's not in July?
No, June.
June 6th.
June 6th. Yeah. So it's like trying to get the kids focused, to understand that you have to be focused to do this. But it's coming along, but it's just been really stressed doing it so far.
Dude, what people don't realize, and you're very positive, but I'm going to piggyback off of what you said. What people don't realize about teaching drama, I'm going to drag your positivity into the gutter.
Take it.
What people don't realize about drama for kids, and particularly for middle schools. By the way, guys, we see you guys coming in. Thank you so much for everybody who's coming in. We do this for you guys. Send us your questions. We appreciate you. You guys rock.
Tap in.
Yes. We appreciate it. Teaching drama, like getting kids to do a play is insanely hard.
Absolutely.
It's super hard.
Yes.
Because you have to focus on 3 to 4 actors at a time. The rest of the kids are doing exactly what you said you were doing. They're touching each other.
Yes.
They're running around.
Yes.
They're rolling around on the ground.
They're
banging on the drums.
Yes.
They're playing on the keyboard. It is probably the most noisy environment that you could possibly be in.
Facts.
Directing children in a play.
Absolutely.
It's terrible.
Yes. It's hard. To get them to focus.
It's not just hard, it's terrible.
It's hard. Yes. It's the worst thing.
It should be community service.
Yes.
You could pick up trash on the side of the road in an orange jumpsuit. Or you can go teach kids how to do a play.
Yeah, because they don't want
10 times harder.
They don't want to take it serious. They think your class is like gym.
Your class is gym. I mean, and to an extent, I get it. Okay, they're kids, man. They don't want to learn how to slate and how to, you know what I mean, like find their profile on the camera and audition. They don't care about that. But at the same time, the school that hired you cares about them caring about it. So you have to like
make sure they locked in.
Like, guys, I'm getting married next year, so I have a wife and a job.
Yes,
please get it together.
Absolutely.
You know, like let's not suck.
Absolutely.
This year.
That I have to make it happen. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways,
responsibilities. You got responsibilities.
We're going through the same thing, man.
Well, Matt, I give you a lot of credit because you just held back a lot. And
you heard me on the way here. It's definitely more expletive laden.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we can't say that on the podcast.
We did the real podcast on the way
on the
drive here.
Yeah, it was just me with the 5,000 foot yard stare, like just staring into the abyss. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And talking about like, this job's totally unsustainable. I was like, anybody who says that it's not is an idiot.
Yeah,
and we were just talking about how this you can't work this job and stay sane.
I don't think that the average person understands how public education has been dismantled in every which way in academics and behavior in the last 30 years.
Absolutely.
And the only kids that are not going to be affected or by the dismantling of this are the ones that are at the higher performing schools, because those kids will never realize what they can actually get away with.
They're struggling. They're struggling.
They'll never understand what it's like to be in a group, in a class where you have someone, it's a 7th grade class, but kids are already on a 1st grade level and all these other things.
Absolutely.
Everyone's a higher performer.
Yeah.
They're self-regulating.
Yeah.
So they don't even know that there's no boundaries.
Absolutely.
There is no boundaries, dude. And you know what it's like when you try to tell the public, because they have no idea
absolutely.
what's going on in the classroom. It's kind of like if somebody tamed tigers, right? Let's say somebody tames tigers. They tame like 3 or 4 of them. And then all of a sudden it's like, all right, we're going to put 75 of them in your cage. And then he just gets eaten alive. And it's like, guess he wasn't that good of a tiger tamer.
Mhm.
And it's like, you put 75 in there, or like a bodybuilder.
Absolutely.
Just dropping a car on him. And
Yeah.
like, guess he wasn't that strong.
Yeah.
It's like they're giving teachers more than they can handle.
Absolutely.
And
blame
that's what
you.
makes the job unsustainable. It's like, dude, I can't do all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like, well, like, here's some more work. Like, I can't do all this.
Oh yeah, like all of these different like teaching theories and stuff have actually come about too, due to the fact that you have these crazy classrooms and crazy situations, and people trying to come up. This is the thing that'll work. No, it won't work. It's in theory, it sounds great, but there's no way that one person can have that many hands
And handle everything.
that many different. It's impossible.
Dude, they want you in these theories to go in with youth pastor energy. But that doesn't work, because I went in there with youth pastor energy.
Yeah.
I
You know
love
what I mean?
watching
Positivity.
And they run over you. Yeah.
Oh, dude, they run over you, and then it just hardens you into a boarding school instructor. Every year you get a little meaner until you're that teacher that just looks like they bit into a sour apple.
Yeah.
All the time.
Or been angry the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah, you just
Absolutely.
look like an angry boarding school instructor, which is why there's a mass exodus in teaching. More people should leave.
Yeah, especially with especially with the pay.
Yeah.
So here's an
It's a
interesting
crazy
stat.
job.
Because for this podcast and everything, I went and I used Google Gemini again. And so if you were to compare 2 teachers at the top of the pay scale in 1996, made a combined $101,000.
Combined. Oh, wow.
Right? The average median house price, this is in Los Angeles, was about $200,000.
Easily.
Now, 2 teachers at the top of the pay scale combined make about $220,000.
Okay.
It sounds like a huge jump, right?
Yeah.
The average house price is $1 million. Everything has gone up so much
Absolutely.
that it literally, I could read it. It's like, but Gemini was like, oh yeah, for teachers today that are married at the top of the pay scale to have the same quality of life, they would have to make a combined $410,000
Wow.
to what it was like in 1996.
Now
That's
we know why Walter
crazy.
White did what he did.
Yeah.
You know what I
Dude,
mean? He was
it's-
justified.
And then people get upset when teachers ask for the money to continue with their cost of living adjustment.
Yeah.
By the way, and this goes for everybody, teachers aren't asking for raises. Stop thinking about that. They're not asking for raises. They're asking for cost of living adjustments that are supposed to be given to them by the state of California. But for some reason, these districts can hold on to them, and they use them as a bargaining chip instead of going into the pockets of the teachers. There wouldn't even be strikes about that.
Yeah.
Right?
You know
They-
what else is crazy about
Yeah.
that whole thing too is like whenever it comes to teachers that are just constantly like people think that teaching is a part-time job. That's the other thing too. People are like, why do you want so much money? You work 180 days. Dude, I'm in my first like 2 years of teaching. I work 17-hour days.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Absolutely.
even kidding.
Absolutely.
17 hours. And people are like, well, how would you even do that? So I teach from 7:30 to 3:10. I usually get there at like 7:55 before the bell rings.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but that's what time I get there till 3:10. From 4 o'clock to 7:10, I'm in college.
Yeah.
College for teaching, even though I
Absolutely.
teach full time. Then I have to write like some goofy paper or something on these theories that we're talking about. And then I don't get in bed realistically till about 11 o'clock. I still do comedy because I don't want to get stuck in teaching. And then
And you have
I work out.
and you have a performance coming up too soon too, aren't you?
yeah, oh, and I'm directing a play.
Yeah.
I'm directing a play, and I do that 2 days after school. And it's like a lot of what directing that play is kids running around playing volleyball and screaming while I'm just trying to get them to focus.
Absolutely.
And it's like, you can't stay sane in that way. People
Absolutely
are like,
not.
why are you so high strung? It's like, because of that.
It's hard.
You start like,
You just start twitching.
you start twitching out. Yeah. You
Yeah.
become that weird teacher who talks to themselves.
I felt like that yesterday.
You did?
Yeah.
What was going on?
But Chris, I want to just top on the
Yeah.
strike because
Yeah,
because they don't understand the strike. Yeah.
So teachers of LAUSD, which a lot of teachers like to say they work for UTLA, not LAUSD. But UTLA, there was a huge rally yesterday, And if no agreement is found, UTLA has authorized a strike for starting April 14th. And the great thing is now when UTLA strikes, they also, I believe, strike with SEIC. If that's it's, you know, all the other workers on campus, them as well. So that now it just shuts down the entire system.
You know what sucks about that though? At a lot of districts, the teachers don't get paid if they strike.
No,
they don't?
So it's like no. So the crazy thing about
like
that is
government. Yeah,
you're negotiating something better. But if you have a wife, if you have kids, if you have a husband or whatever, you know what I mean? Like if you have bills, let's say, you can't do that forever.
Yeah, and
you know what I'm saying? Like how are you supposed to live off of that? Like credit card debt?
And dude, shame on LAUSD board members. 100%. And this is why the people that don't want to give teachers, like I saw the proposal that's being offered. It is so incredibly fair, right? Shame on them. But here's why. Why do we live in a democratically run city and a democratically run state? Yet and then you're supposed to be pro-teacher. And when teachers
they're not at all.
They're not at all.
It's so fake.
And
it's BS.
It's so fake. And I look at it and I go, you think the first step would be, hey, let's make sure that the teachers have a livable wage so they could be solidly middle class, not even upper class. We're not just enough. We're like, hey, maybe 2 teachers at the top of the pay scale could own a starter home that's $1 million.
Absolutely.
Dude, do you know what the is $7,000, dude? That's what your mortgage and your everything in.
Easily.
$7,000.
Easily.
Right?
Easily.
And you go and you want to say no to that? Shame on you, man.
Yeah.
It is so sad, dude.
Yeah.
It boggles my mind.
And one of the things they're negotiating in that contract too is like smaller classroom sizes. I saw that they were doing that, which it's like, dude, that is one of the biggest ways that you can actually help teachers.
Okay.
Because it's the giant class sizes that bury you. Like as an electives teacher, I can speak to that directly. When you have, you have 37, 42, whatever in your class, that's insane.
Absolutely.
Nobody can manage that. Especially too, if you are putting like also problem students in those classes. Like, oh, okay, this one's got a rap sheet. Absolutely. This one's got an ankle bracelet.
Facts.
This one's not allowed to leave his house. We're going to put him in this class. It makes you go crazy after a while.
Yeah.
It's like, this is unsustainable.
And then I always look at it and I go, if you're running a business, right, you got to cut the fat.
Absolutely.
Well, the most essential workers are the ones that are on school sites. Sorry, but those are the most essential.
But
so many people that get into education do everything in their power to get off of the school site, right? And that's where they call it the educational bureaucracy, right? Of all these people. At one point, this is like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I remember reading a report that LAUSD spent the same amount on-site personnel as off-site personnel. These people didn't even go to a school.
Really?
And you go, I'm not trying to be mean. I don't want anybody to lose their job. But if you're thinking about how to balance budgets and all that, you got to cut the fat. And I understand that those people want to sit around in air conditioning buildings and not be around the kids. And they hated being around the kids so much. But those got to be the first ones to go.
And the thing is, too, is they
and it's
inevitably
sad,
become the bad
because y'all paying the dues.
Well, it's like in war movies, you know what I mean? To where it's like, hey, we're going to give you some quilts and some soup if you come in here and sell out your country.
Absolutely.
And then it's like, I'm starving. And then they give you the quilts and the soup. And then you're like, I'll tell you where all of them are. And you just sell everybody out. That's what a lot of times those people end up doing, because what they do is they enact all these different things, these standards that they put on the teachers that they know doesn't work because they were in the classroom. So they're selling out their kinfolk.
They are.
Basically. That's
100%.
basically what it is.
And put y'all on the spot like y'all the problem.
100%.
Like
it's like, he did it.
Yeah.
It's like the kid who gaslights you. You know what I mean? Who's like literally eating his desk and it's like, hey, can you not do that? It's like, I didn't do anything. There's so much gaslighting in education.
Absolutely.
Dude, you start to question your own reality. You're like, I don't know. Is there something wrong with me?
You and I both played sports, right? I think you played varsity football. I
Yeah.
played varsity basketball, right? Imagine the kids that were getting cut, right? Getting cut, being able to stand on the sidelines and tell you why you suck.
When you start to feel like
you would go, great example. Like, how did you get here? Yeah.
Would it move along?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you start to feel like you're kind of crazy?
Yeah. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Like,
And the
how'd you get
coach,
in this
and
position?
then the school gave them the power to do that.
And you wasn't that good. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah.
And the school, like the school system, the reason why it's so bad is because they caved to the craziest parents in society. It's like the people who were like, you know what I mean? It's like the person that just literally sued the school. And then the school's like, all right, we're going to make sure that we don't offend this person. It's like seeing somebody screaming outside of 7-Eleven and scratching their neck. And it's like, hey, we're going to succumb to all the whims of this guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's screaming about how bumblebees are, hijacking the government. So we're going to agree with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You want to go to a comment?
Yes.
Yeah, let's go to a comment.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, we get passionate. Union or not, teachers are leaving. The education system is failing. It's beyond livable wage. It's everything education is suffering from, and it has to fall before it gets better.
I think this is everything. Yeah. Is
Yeah.
there anything you wanted to add?
I want to add to that, but like, you feel like you have to have this strike, correct? For things to change?
I think that teachers are going to collapse under like psychological stress, and I'm not even exaggerating.
I don't think so.
Eventually.
I think that
they will.
I think teachers max it'll probably last a week.
Okay.
But I mean, like, if they don't strike, don't you think eventually teachers are just going to be like,
oh,
that's what I'm saying. They're going to collapse.
They have to strike
under the stress.
And strikes
if they don't.
didn't happen a lot.
Absolutely.
Because teachers were being paid well. Needs were being met. In the last like 7 years, there's already been 2. We're about to go to number 3.
Oh.
They're not even really asking for that much. It's not like, hey, give me a toilet with like a golden
like respect us, give us some love. Give us some love,
dude.
Yeah,
I hope people that are watching or listening, they got to understand that even a condo in a place like Los Angeles is a minimum of $600,000
easily. That's not that bad.
Teachers aren't living. Buying places unless they marry someone that is a really high income earner.
You have to.
It is turned into a part-time job
with full-time requirements.
With
overtime
requirements.
requirements.
Yes.
Let's be honest, because
part-time. It's almost part-time wages.
It's way more than 40 hours a week.
Well, just the notional.
And that's just the mortgage. What if you got kids?
And if you have kids, dude,
it's even worse.
Imagine though, you have like PTSD from like kids. Imagine dealing with that bad behavior all day long and then seeing your own kid and being like, ugh. You know what I mean?
I raised you right. I hope so. Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah.
But hey, I want to say thank you everyone for tuning in, liking, and subscribing, following us on social media. You have no idea how much we love it. Like I got a message today that he just said, thank you so much. I've been in education for over 20 years. Thank you for someone's finally speaking the truth. So thank you, everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I get those messages as well.
You
Thank y'all for the shout out. I appreciate that for real.
When I was younger, I worked third shift in a level 1 trauma emergency room. Teaching is by far, in a way, a harder job than that. I'd rather work in a trauma room again over teach most days. You know what's so funny about this? My fiance and I were watching that show, The Pit. Have you seen it?
No.
I've seen it before.
It's on Netflix. It's basically about working in an ER room.
Yeah.
Like right after somebody, faces blunt force trauma, whatever,
survival,
they rush them there. And it's basically each season, I've only been watching it sporadically, but each season is filmed in the course of a day. So episode 1 is the first hour. Episode 2 is the second hour. And so you're seeing all of this stuff. Now, I can't speak to working in an ER. My mom did nursing for a very long time, but what I can say is that is quite the testimonial of endorsement of how hard this job is. If you've worked both of those jobs, like I said, shout out to everybody who works in an ER, who works in a hospital.
Much love for what you do. Yeah.
Not taking away from anybody.
Not taking away from anything. My ex-girlfriend worked at Cedar Sinai. She was a nurse and she would come home just exhausted. But I will say
a lot of my family members work in the hospital.
It's tough work.
It's
dude.
hard.
It's really hard.
Yeah, you have to have a mindset for it. Yeah.
You know what it is though? And Chris, you and I have talked about this before. A lot of times, like any kind of job where you're dealing with trauma, behavior, health issues, any of that is going to be like a really tough job.
Yeah.
But the thing that makes teaching so hard is there's not really a breather in between. Like you might be at the hospital eating a donut. It's like some guy has an axe in his head and then it's like, let's go operate. But with teaching, some guy has an axe in his head, metaphorically, every 2 seconds.
Yeah, but
literally, you are interrupted every 2 seconds.
At least in trauma, you have people that's helping you out too,
and
trying to
everybody's sharing
survive.
a common goal.
Exactly, trying to help you out. It's nervous, but they all working together.
You don't have somebody in the room making fart noises and playing tag while you're trying to open up this dude's chest.
Absolutely.
So it makes it a little.
It's got.
It makes it a little bit more shared.
Yeah, and I was thinking about this today, of like, especially to what that person was talking about, is I don't think that people understand too. I was thinking about like, what's the most toxic teaching job that you could have, teaching position?
Oh yeah, it's in a city at a
if you're in a school with low test scores,
low income,
so you have bad test scores and bad behavior, because what you're talking about, that onslaught is all the time. Kids are coming after blah, 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 blah. And then if you go to administration, they attack you. And so you're basically getting attacked at both ends all the time, dude. And you're not even there to teach anymore. You're there for job protection. And if people
manage the class,
just trying to protect your job. Now, if people want to understand how bad some schools are, ready? There is a school in a big city that I know of that got taken over by the district and reconstituted. What that means is the test scores were so bad, everything was so bad, they couldn't turn it around. So they let all the teachers go. They still could go to other schools, right?
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't get anyone, they couldn't hire anybody to come work at this school because the reputation of the school was so bad. That's how bad it was. They actually ended up
like enlisting in the army. It's like, hey, you want to go fight in Iraq? And
hey, you
like,
want to be
good.
You don't want to be the first.
You don't want to go look for weapons of mass destruction? Nah, I'm good.
And they ended up rehiring a lot of the teachers that they let go because they were the only ones that would put up with the abuse.
Yeah. I mean, low income school, bad schools, it's like living in a bad area. You hate walking around that place. I don't know if y'all
You just have to count how many 7-Elevens. If there's a 7-Eleven across from a 7-Eleven,
absolutely,
it's a bad neighborhood.
Exactly. Exactly. And you scared. So if you walking around a bad neighborhood, you scared. That's the same way schools are.
100%.
Low income areas. Yeah.
And in big cities, the change is it doesn't take that many miles of driving for you to go, wait, I was just in that and now I'm in this.
It's different.
It's a completely different.
It's no sidewalks. You know what I'm saying?
It's like you'll be in one area. There's no trees. Birds aren't even around.
Yeah.
Birds not even flying around.
Somebody's walking an animal that's not even supposed to be domesticated. It's like, does that guy have a pig on a leash?
Exactly. You see no squirrels. You don't see anything in that area.
You go 2 miles west. There's like lights that stream now because it's such a nice neighborhood. Like even the road gets better.
Yeah.
All of it, man.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. And then the weeds are really high down the street.
But you know, some bad schools, you know, it's bad when you see the parents drop the kids off.
Dude.
That's the worst part.
The school was tough too. When I went to the 7-Eleven and there's a 7-Eleven right by it. They're stressed out too.
Yeah. Oh.
The 7-Eleven workers are stressed out because you think of it. I did a teacher talk about this one day. But 7-Eleven workers have to really be going through it because they're like a daycare for crackheads.
Yeah.
They really are, because there's crackheads running around in there. That's why they play Mozart and Bach, because that's like bug spray for like bad behavior.
Absolutely.
But they are dealing with that, and then they're dealing with the kids that are coming in and paying for talkies and pennies or whatever.
And having kids steal.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, and they're like, by the end of the day, they're doing this, and it's like, oh my gosh, dude.
And their jobs on the line too, because they losing money because kids are stealing.
And you know what's so funny too? Yeah. The way that we're talking right now, I probably would have thought we were monsters 2 years ago. Like if my past self was listening to me right now, I'd be like, dude, guys, we became monsters. But then I worked in education, and it's like anybody who works in education understands what we're talking about. Which is why people are so afraid to talk about it, because they don't want to be perceived as a bad person. But really what we're doing is we're just telling the truth.
Yeah. Absolutely. And because and then it makes you realize there's some people that don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. And then they want to look at you like, oh, you must be bitter or whatever. It's like, no. I'm saying it's like this, and things need to change.
Yeah, we want things to change. And it's also, to be clear, for the kids.
Absolutely.
For the kids. It needs to change for the kids.
Absolutely.
Because it's like, where is this whole thing that the lack of consequences is love? You know what I mean? Like the lack of consequences, like if kids have no consequences, that is somehow you're caring for them and you're sparing their feelings. You're actually destroying them piece by piece, little by little. And so it's like, I don't know. We need like a buzz cut guy, a jarhead, to come in with army fatigues and just scream.
Yeah, I miss when
for 3
kids.
hours.
I miss kids when they used to get whoopings. You know what I'm saying? Get spanked. I miss that.
Did you get spanked?
Yeah. Oh yes.
Oh yeah, I did
oh,
too.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I definitely did too.
And I learned. I knew I did not want to come home and my mom or my dad waiting on me like, come here. 'Cause I was scared. Kids have no consequences. They don't get whoopings no more. That's the problem.
It turns kids into sociopaths when they have no consequences.
Yes.
When they just look at him, it's like, well, I was going to take his iPad away, but he gets really upset. It's like, of course he does, Doris. Take it away.
Because human nature, let's be honest. I love it when people have this like idyllic
utopian
version of human nature. And I'm like, no, we're all awful.
Yeah,
100%. That's what systems of checks and balances
is.
That's what systems of checks and balances is like. Well, supposed to be. Let's be clear on that. But like executive, judicial, legislative, they're supposed to all be watching each other so one person doesn't take the money and run too fast. Because they know that the soul of man is kind of perverse and a little messed up.
Yeah.
I don't trust anybody who doesn't think that we have a trash can part of our brain. I don't trust anybody who doesn't think that human nature is innately has a darkness to it. Doesn't mean that that's all you are, but doesn't have like a speckle of that at least. You don't believe in any lizard brain, anything? I call it sin, whatever you want to call it. But like people who don't believe that there's that thing, no, you're just golden light only. And it's like, no, dude, you got a dark side.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's that, that's that animal side. So, all right, let's go to another comment.
Yeah, what do you another comment? Societal failure, policies, admin, parents, who thinks a situation with no consequences is going to work out. I swear this is going to be the end of our whole country. I genuinely want to know what happens if you scream at them. Are teachers somehow not allowed to be disciplinarians anyway? I do want to take a moment to say this, and this is not me trying to just cover my tracks. The admin at my school is cool, but I think that people have there's a ton of garbage admin out there. But even with admin that like has your back and everything, there's only so far that they can go. Let's say that they take a kid out of your class or they do whatever. They can't kick the kid out of the school.
No.
You know what I mean? It's like how far that something actually goes. You look like you had a lot that you were going to say about that.
No.
Well, do y'all have a problem with screaming at kids? Because supposedly, like, where I teach at, they don't allow that to scream at kids. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes you have no choice because how they going to get it? They don't get it unless you scream or get loud. But it's how you scream sometimes though too.
How
you scream.
Yeah, you know what it is, dude? It's screaming is, and I'm a new teacher. You're more veteran than I am, but like, sometimes the class, especially in like an electives class that's so huge in like theater where kids think it's playing, it can get so out of control. The only way you can pull it back is to scream. You have to, because otherwise what's going to happen is there's going to be some kid getting roasted over a fire like a rotisserie chicken. And you have to be like, you have to shock people's systems. Now, if you do that all the time, it loses its power. Absolutely. And it'll just be another day. They won't even flinch, but you sometimes have to do that. I mean, you post so many videos, dude, about teachers losing it. And it's like, the longer you work in education, the more you see that is not an anomaly. You can only pile so much stress on somebody before that's a reaction. Like those teachers literally are screaming.
Well, that's what's funny. It's like people for help that say like teaching is an easy job. And the next thing you know, there's all these videos of teachers having dealing
nervous breakdowns almost.
Losing it.
And you go, it's not easy. It's not the job that it was 30 years ago.
Because you're not teaching. That's the thing. People think that you sit at a desk and teach while kids ask questions. Teaching is probably different, but it's anywhere from 10 to 30% of the job.
I feel sorry, and I feel sorry for some teachers because teachers are always managing the kids. That's what you're doing. You're managing the kids to make sure they don't act up. And then these kids are fighting. You steady every day breaking up a fight. Tell the kids to sit down. Please sit down, sit down, sit down. I posted a video today. This lady's like, stop, please stop, please just stop to the kids. Let's stop. You know what I'm saying? And I felt so bad for her because she was crying to get the kids to stop fighting. And that's her last thing. She's like, she's probably a sweet lady. I don't want to yell at these kids. I yelled, that didn't work. And she's like, now she's crying for pity. I need y'all to please listen to me. She's crying for help. just so the kids can stop. So when you get to that point, it's just so disrespectful. It hurts the teacher trying to do her job that you think this is the ultimate thing that you have to cry.
Let me ask
to
you
get
this.
these kids to listen to you.
Do you think she was crying out of like just sheer, I have nothing else to do? Like, was she pleading with them?
I know.
Was she actually like pleading, or was she yelling? Like,
she was
out of
crying
anger?
like, this is all I could do. I can't do anything
It's like
else.
frustration.
Yes, I can't. I can't do anything. Just stop it, guys. Just please let me be. Let me be a teacher. It was a cry like that. Like, I'm just trying to do my job. Why y'all doing this to me?
You know what's crazy too?
Yeah.
So many teachers have written in our comments. I don't know if you guys have seen them, but for those of you guys who are coming in, we appreciate you guys.
Peace.
Who have said that they had to
Thank
leave
you.
because of their health.
Yeah.
They were diagnosed with some sort of autoimmune issue, that they developed some kind of problem. They developed digestive issues.
Stress.
That they literally, because parents will not keep their kids in check. And these kids are packed like sardines in a classroom. Their health is literally like failing. Dude, it's really sad.
That's bad.
Honestly.
That's bad.
It's really bad. That's not normal.
Well, it is.
That's not
when
normal.
You say the parents keeping them in check, when you take away most consequences, right?
The kids will always choose
then,
the path of
the thing is, then it's all on the parent that raised them. If that parent didn't raise that kid to act a certain way, there's nothing you can do.
Nothing.
So it's become even more parent-centric and more, it's weird. It's like the customer is wrong. Yeah.
The customer is usually wrong.
Yeah, the customer is usually
wrong. The customer's always right. No, the customer is usually wrong.
Like, why do you think teachers really got into it? Like, because they wanted to raise their voice or talk about the future? I never remember a single teacher that I had growing up having to raise their voice to some crazy level.
And dude, I would have gotten scared too, because if they would have told my parents, and I acted crazy when I was a kid, but if my parents found out, I'd get grounded for like a month sometimes.
Yeah. Imagine if that never happened.
I was scared. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no consequences at home. There's no consequences at school. It's just Lord of the Flies, man.
And people will sometimes try to pin that as if it's a positive thing when kids act like that. I've had people be like, well, if they're acting like that in your class, it's because they feel safe. It's like, well, maybe they need to feel a little less safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
so what do you think is wrong with most of these parents nowadays? They just stop caring?
I think it's neglect, dude.
Or they just let the school do it? Like what?
Well, okay. I don't go to nightclubs anymore, but you know, I'm young enough to where I did, you know, not my scene really. But if you look at like people who are out, what are they doing? They're on their phone while they're out. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's girls on this side, there's guys on that side, and they're on their phone, but they're out.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like, why would anything like that be different? You know, it's like we're all addicted to our phone in some way, shape, or form. But I think that a lot of it has to do with the fact that like people are just not present as much as they used to be. And I think that parenting is hard. I'm not taking that away from anybody. But I think that rather than sitting down after a long day's work and being like, look, this is what's going to happen if you don't shape up and you don't do this. Good parents do that, right? They talk to their kids, they reason with them, they actually spend time with them, and they let them know there's going to be some kind of consequence if you do something. It's so much easier now if a kid is complaining and be like, all right, just watch, here's your iPad.
That's it.
Dude,
that's who's raising them. iPads and computer games.
Dude, as a teacher,
that's who's raising kids.
Taking a kid's laptop away causes so much stress sometimes in the classroom. Getting them to close it. Half of my stress comes from telling kids to get off their computer.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, close your computer. Close them. All right, 3, 2, 1. Close your computer. Gordy, close your computer. Corey, close your computer. Corey, close your computer. Corey, close your computer. Corey, close your computer. That's literally stuff that I have to say.
You're like, Corey, what did I say to you, Corey?
Yeah, like, Corey?
I just told you close it, Corey.
And they're like, no, never touch the kid's laptop. I go over there. I just close it now. I don't care.
Exactly.
Like, and
just
so
take it. Yeah.
The thing is like you do that. But imagine doing that for 8 hours a day while there's some kid. And then sometimes when you close it, now they're wrestling because they don't have a screen to stare at. You know what I mean? And some kids, when kids are doing drama, they'll open up the laptop and be under there looking at it and everything. I'm like, what are you looking at? They're just looking at the screen.
Guys, it's very simple. Ready? People try to come up with all these different reasons, right? Excuses and all that. The kids who cause problems that don't care about doing well in school, all of that, it's because the majority of the time, their parents do not care.
100%.
It's a very 100%. Simple equation.
Yeah,
that's
because
easily what it is.
It's the same thing of like, hey, if you grow up in a family where both parents smoke cigarettes, guess what you're most likely to do? Smoke cigarettes. If you grow up in a family that reads, I had a buddy, right? He loved to read. And he goes, well, we just had reading time in our house. I went, what? He goes, yeah, everyone, we had our little spots in the house and you just went to there and you just read for an hour. And I go, so guess awesome. What he does? He reads. You know, the way his mind works is completely different. Yeah. So kids are always reflections. I always say this, majority of the time, you're always going to have outliers. And there's people that want to find that outlier that destroys your argument. It's like I'm talking about the average dummy, you know, but kids are either a reflection of their parents or they are like one of those funhouse mirror reflections where you're like, how did that end up from that? Do you know what I mean? But they're always a reflection somehow.
Yeah, they're a reflection. I feel like they're a reflection of their parents in the area they grew up in.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And the friends they hang around with. That's
the reflection. Your friends. Yeah. And you can undo a lot of stuff, dude, by like deep-seated therapy. But like if it's not put into you to be introspective by someone or something, then you kind of like what are you gonna do?
It's a done deal. You know? If you graduate from 8th grade and you're operating on a 4th grade level of reading and doing math, and you have disciplinary problems, the statistics say you're never turning it around.
No.
And so it's like teachers try to do so much, but it's like there's so many people.
But it is the combination. I want to say real quick, it's not just the low, it's also the disciplinary problems already.
Absolutely.
Dude, it's like
100%.
Heart will ultimately win out over brain. I really do believe that. Like if you have strong habits, intelligence can only take you so far. There's intelligent people who lay in bed all day because they think of all these theoreticals and all these things that it actually works against them. Really, habits are what form you. And it's like, if you're not taught those habits, I mean, you guys both played sports growing up. So you know that the teams that did the best were the teams who practiced. Everybody wants to talk about how legendary Kobe Bryant was, but look at
he trained all the time. He trained on the court.
So talent.
First one there, last one to leave. What happened?
Guys, he had 3 workouts.
And people thought he was mentally ill because he would do the same shot over and over again and he would keep doing it. And people would be like, which I try to talk to kids all the time. Like, it's like, oh, well, we did this part already. And it's like, look, maybe you don't want to be in the NBA. Maybe you don't want to be like a famous actor. That's fine. But the skills that I'm trying to teach you, you're going to be able to take everywhere in life. Like if you do something over and over and over again, you're actually going to be able to figure out mastery. But the problem is kids are not taught that. They're like, all right, I did it. And they finish something after like 2 seconds. And it's like, that's not acceptable. Am I done yet? And no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they give up before it even happens. They give up.
100% because they keep getting past. So it's like, the thing is for you to learn something in life, you have to bump your head against the wall over and over and over again. And if you don't let kids bump their head against the wall, then, you know, ultimately there's going to be an issue. We will go to another question. Amen. I left the classroom in 2008 and came back in 2022 and was in shock to see that we went from consequences to coaching and teachers are having to deal with extreme behaviors who need a specialist. As I was not trained in these tier 3 behaviors. I don't know what tier 3 is.
That's the worst of the worst behaviors.
Gotcha. Okay. So a lot of teachers.
So lockdown prison. It's like a lockdown prison.
Lockdown prison, with geography books. The first time I ever asked for help with a student, I was reprimanded on my semantics, and the child was never spoken to. The new principal is trying to say it is my classroom management, but then we finally get this child's file from his old school, and he had one-on-one sensory / check-in supports and targeted counseling services every day from kindergarten. And then he comes to my school in 4th grade, and he wasn't receiving any of those supports. So of course his behaviors that have been extreme and disruptive of course his behaviors have been extreme and disruptive. Yeah, dude, you always, water seeks its own level. You're always going to go back to those old habits. Like you have to be on that kid, because it's like, you're going to have to correct what's going on at home all day at school. And the kid probably was getting better because he had all these supports and stuff with like therapists and stuff.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't have that, he's going to go back to his own thing. You know?
Exactly. And that also, and then on top of it, there was probably a lot of lists of the things that the kids have done, but they always put it on the teacher. And that's so unfair. It's like, if something happens, it's always like, what did you do? And you're like, wait, what? You know, and it's so combative. Do you know what I mean? Instead of like, hey, okay, asking a teacher, like if I was a principal, I'd be like, hey, so just be real with me. Like, what was going on, right? I'm not here to get anybody in trouble. I need to understand what was going on. Instead, a lot of admin come full throttle at the teacher. I know this, and that. And you're like, whoa. You don't even know the context. You're already accusing me.
Uh-huh.
Do you know?
You know what teachers are, dude? Crash test dummies. Remember those dummies that they put in the car and then they floor at full speed and then it hits the wall to see how.
Dude, no, you're making me think about it. It gets me angry. I go, dude, we are the idiots. Do you know who the smart people are? The ones that are in the out of the classroom, sitting there judging everybody. And the ones that go, it's your fault. It's your fault. Now let me alone while I drink my coffee.
They're the villains.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm saying teachers, that's what teachers are treated like in the school system.
Yeah.
It's like, let's test the durability of this theater. All right, we're going to put Mr. Huxtable in this driver's seat. And then all of a sudden they just put a brick to the gas pedal. And then if he flies through and it's like, okay, we'll keep doing it. You know, it's like, he just went through the.
I've actually heard this one old teacher say that public schools in big cities are always the testing ground to see how much they
can get away with.
And then if they can get away with it, like taking away all the consequences in the public schools, well, people just kind of went along with it because they put fancy names on it and all this stuff. Well, they did the same thing, and then the big cities started doing that. And that's when the criminals were running amok, and they were having to literally every grocery store you go into and everything is locked up.
Dude, yeah, it's like, do you really have to lock up?
I hate that. Yes.
Does toothpaste make meth? Like, what do they do?
They lock up lotion, everything.
Lotion, toothpaste. It's like, yeah, I just want to get that Crest. It's like, I remember, obviously my teeth are white, so I get Crest white strips once a year. Mm-hmm. And I went in there and then it was locked up. And I was like,
fun. Remember how you said
once a year?
If you know you live in a bad neighborhood, if you got 7-Eleven across from 7-Eleven, and you know you live in a bad neighborhood when they lock up strips. The toothpaste.
They lock up toothpaste.
They lock up everything.
Dude, are people in
tissue? Like, like I need to wipe my butt. Hurry up.
Yeah, 100%.
So much. Yeah. Oh my God.
You feel like you're getting some sort of contraband item. You're like, dude, all I want is Charmin.
Yeah, exactly. Going to stores in bad neighborhoods is the worst thing ever. You take forever just to get one simple thing. It takes forever.
It's so funny too, because in a big city, neighborhoods go from really nice to really bad. Yes. I've been in Beverly Hills before, and it quickly changes to Koreatown. Quick. Yeah. And I remember I was slamming on my horn at somebody one time. I'm like, oh, I'm in Koreatown now, coming to Beverly Hills. And
that fast.
Like, yeah.
It is totally true, because you can go from the Hollywood Hills and like some of the nicest neighborhoods like Beverly Hills area and just take Sunset and just keep going.
And the sidewalk shooting up heroin.
Yeah, and then you're like, what is this, Mad Max beyond Thunderdome?
You pass the 101 freeway, it started getting dangerous.
Even worse. Actually, when you start passing on Sunset Boulevard, when you get past, when you meet the Rock and Roll Ralphs.
Yep. Oh, dude.
That's when Rock and Roll Ralphs is the dividing.
It's a halfway house with mac and cheese.
And then you keep heading east and you're like, what's going on? Just burned out buildings.
It's just,
dude,
it's crazy.
Have you been to Rock and Roll Ralph's on Sunset Boulevard?
No.
Bro. Oh, dude, no. It's seriously, it's like a detox center when you're in there. It's like people that are just pushing shopping carts. I told Chris about it after the podcast one night. We have to teach the next day. And I was like, dude, let's go in Rock and Roll Ralph's. I was like, I want you to go in there with me, just to see how crazy this is. And we got like on the elevator and some lady made a joke. I don't remember what it was. And Chris, like, do you remember that?
Actually, I did.
I can't remember that. We went in there a couple of times.
Demo that one time.
But nobody in there is normal. I remember there was one time that I was like, you know what? I don't want to go to this place. It's got bad energy. And I was like, that's just me being paranoid. So I went there to get a notebook at 9 o'clock at night. And I turned around, some lady was following me.
Yeah.
What?
And if people
Yes,
really
it's
think
weird.
that also that Rock and Roll Ralph's literally had the most COVID cases out of all grocery store
Probably where
workers
COVID came from.
in the entire United States, dude. They had to bring in extra workers. That's how filthy and dirty
It's
this
disgusting,
place is,
dude.
bro.
God,
It's like a Motel 6 that sells lunch meat. It's gross.
Yeah.
scary.
Really nasty.
But on that note,
Rock and Roll Ralph's, would you rather work at Rock and Roll Ralph's making $125K a year? Or would you rather be a teacher?
can I work in the seafood department?
That's probably worse.
At
do
least
it.
I'm behind something.
I do it.
Yeah, but when those crazy people come in on meth with a hammer, you know what I mean? They're gonna crack through those king crab legs.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much
Appreciate you.
for coming tonight. You guys rock.
Thank you so
God
much.
bless you. Stay in the good
See you
fight
soon.
and all
Be
that.
out.
Bye.